organizer, and it's going to be helpful for us when we are trying to organize a lot of our thoughts. So chapter 10 was surface area and volume, and if you remember, we have a lot of different formulas. And as I said, we are going to have a test coming up on all of these formulas. So I thought it would be a good idea for today for you to work on a graphic organizer to try to organize these ideas. So you should have this worksheet in front of you. The front of this worksheet looks like this. This is going to be helpful for you because I am going to allow you to use this on your upcoming test. So you're going to want to put a decent amount of effort into this because once this is completed, I'm going to check it in, make sure that everything looks good, and you'll be able to use this on your test. Because, like I said, you would be given the formulas. Well, this is my way of giving you the formulas. So, I'm going to go over this first page with you to show you what the plan is. You're going to be following along in your book or your note packet to find this information for each of these sections. But for this first one, if you want to follow along with how I'm doing this in the book, I'm on page 410 in the book, and I'm looking at the key idea that talks about surface area of rectangular prisms. And it tells you kind of how you're going to fill in this graphic organizer. So if you look at this portion right here, we're talking about how this is written in words. If you're on page 410, might be helpful for you to look on page 410. It tells you words. So in words, the surface area of a rectangular prism is the sum of the areas of the bases and the lateral faces. So I've just taken that right out of the book on page 410. The visual is also given there. So in your book, try your best on drawing these. It's a little tricky. In your book, we have something that looks like this. Again, you know that I'm not great at this, but it says length is here, width is here, and height is here. And then you'll see in your book that they have drawn the net for this as well. So do your best on drawing the net of this shape. So it says base, base, and here it's separated. So it tells you these are your lateral faces. Just abbreviate them LF faces. And you know, surface area of this rectangular prism, you're going to find the area, like it said in words, the area of the bases and the area of the lateral faces. Then on page 410, it also tells you the algebra. So the algebra means, what is this formula? So the surface area, in this case, is 2 length times width, because we have, that would be the bottom of this shape and the top of this shape. That's why we have 2 of them. Plus 2 length times height, which would be the front of this shape and the back of this shape. Plus 2 width times height, which would be the side and the other side. That's the algebra, so that's going to be helpful for you when it comes to your upcoming test. And then the last thing that you're going to do is you're going to come up with an example, not one directly from the book, to show this. So for my example, I'm just going to draw this similar shape, rectangular prism. Just try your best. And I'm going to call this side length 4, this one 3, and this one, we'll just call it, doesn't look like it, but let's just call it 2, just so they're all different numbers. So you can follow along with this example, but then when it comes to working on your own graphic organizers, you should come up with your own examples. So our formula right here says we're going to have 2 length times widths. So that we're going to call the base of this thing. So this 4 by 3. We have 2 4x3s. That would be the bottom and the top. Then we're going to have 2 length times height. So that's going to be 4 times 2. Plus 2 width times height. So that's going to be 3 times 2. And then you'll do this math. So we're going to have, this is the same as 2 times 4 is 8, times 3 is 24. Plus 2 times 4 is 8, times 2 is 16. Plus 2 times 3 is 6, times 2 is 12. Adding that all together, it looks like we've got 40 plus 12, which is 52. We'll just call these inches. So this is going to be inches squared, because we're talking about surface area. When you talk about volume, it's going to be inches cubed. So that is the goal for this assignment. Again, you're going to want to put a decent amount of effort into this, because you are going to be able to use it for your test. If you get done with this early, then you should be working on the self-assessment in your book on page 447 through 449. That will be helpful for you for reviewing for your test. That is the plan. Please be respectful. We're all great, so just make sure that you show your best side today, and listen to the substitute teacher.